Hi,
Hello, hello, Sarah.
how
How are
are you?
you?
Thank thank you. I am very good. And what about you? I mean,
Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. I can't remember the time difference, but I do fully understand why you chose the earlier time. I think we could have gone at 1 p.m. or 4 p.m. What time? What's the time difference?
it is now here 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Yeah.
9 p.m. Okay, okay.
How
Mr.
are you?
Bunty, how are you?
Uh,
Zane, butt pain. I love it. I love it. Yes, indeed. Tiki, good to see you, my brother. Happy New Year to you. I'm not sure what the cutoff date is for Happy New Year, but we'll take it how we
actually,
can get it.
it is end of January.
End of January. Yeah, that makes sense to
Yeah.
me. Scooter, come see me, man. You still have a chamber a session in the chamber. So, a matter of fact, I'm about to change addresses, but so stay tuned for that. I'll still be in the Atlanta area, but just a little bit further north. So, yeah, we can actually dive right in. For those of you who have
Yeah,
just joined, we have Sarah from She Wolf. She Wolf, all the way from, you're in Istanbul, correct?
Istanbul, Turkey. Yeah.
It's Istanbul, Turkey. And we'll be tackling S&P and hair transplants. How compatible are they? Are they compatible at all? I get quite a few questions. Um, yeah, I get quite a few questions from clients about whether or not they can have both procedures. I'm able
Oh,
to answer some of the questions, but not all of them. So that's why you're here. That's why you're here. I wish you were there at the time, but we'll dive right in and kind of give us a little bit of your background.
oh, okay. Damien, we have been doing health tourism in Turkey for last 10 years. And I have been in the finance business before. I used to be a finance professional. And also because of that background, I just try to join forces of different parts, different sectors, so industries, because when you combine something, 1 plus 1 is mostly or more than 2. And when I believe something, I am just try hard to push and share that idea with many people. So I'm here because I believe in the power of joining forces of the effects of hair transplant and SMP, because I am surely know that they give the better results together rather than by themselves, because of course for every case we cannot do hair transplant, or for every case we cannot do SMP, but for most of the cases almost we can cover together 80-85% of the potential hair loss treatment clients. So I'm just, especially this year, I want to share this collaboration for all the SMP industry, because you know, trying to compete each other with the services is not giving the same results, and we shouldn't compete. We should complete each other and give the best result to the client. So I am here to answer your questions, and if please the audience feel free to join us, and with your questions you can send messages, and also you can ask questions in live. I don't know, I think we can get guests, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, we can. Um, Actually, I should have done this earlier. I can invite a few just here. ATL.
since we
Yep.
record, we can share these information with the audience and or social media later too. But of course, we'll appreciate the people join now live, and if they have questions. But if not, we have questions for each other, right?
Yes, absolutely. I do have questions, but I did want to touch on something that you mentioned earlier about being SMP and hair transplants being complementary services as opposed to competing services. They really are, and it's been my experience. The way I think about it, many clients during the consultation process, I try to get a realistic, truly get an understanding of what it is that what their desired outcome is, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's beyond the scope of SMP.
Mm-hmm.
They really do want their hair back, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously SMP is it's a tattoo, and so that's when I send them your way,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually, if they can't, if you're unable to meet the desired level of fullness or density, and then they come back to see me. And so it really, both are indeed hair, obviously hair replacement services, but they address the issue from two different angles. That and so we're able to meet in the middle, if that makes sense. Um, She Wolf, how long have you all been in existence?
For in Turkey, and our team is in this business for last 20 years, and I want to share something more detailed about this experience thing, because you may be experienced in this sector, in the hair transplant, but we for example at Shewolf we have more than one team that each one specialized on different kinds of hair, because you may be an expert on hair transplant any kind, but the African hair transplant is not the same with the Asian hair transplant, and it is not the same with the Mediterranean hair transplant, because the characteristics of the hair and the scalp is very different for each kind of hair. So our team, we have special teams for each different hair type. And also in that team, we have specialists that only specialize in hair extraction, and some other are specialized on hair transplant, the extracted hair transplant, because when you need some specialty, you need to give the right angle while hair transplanting. But the hair extraction, you have to distribute very evenly. You have to choose the right hair follicles, and you have to choose for each client, you have to find the right donor area. You have to define the right donor area, because it is not the same for each client. So I personally tell any patient that the hair transplant or any kind of hair loss is not a disease, you know. And hair loss treatments like hair transplant, SMP, and other treatments are not medical treatments. They are not obligatory. They are not health issues. So the people want to change a different look when they look at the mirror. Because of that reason, it is very difficult actually to give this satisfaction to the client, because they don't have to. They do it, they get the treatment to feel better. And when they look at the main reason they come to both of us, they want a hairy look in the mirror.
Yes.
So for SMP and for hair transplant, the most important part of the job is to make the front hairline the best, the most important important part of the job is the front hairline.
Yeah, this
You
is
know.
true for SMP as well.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
hairline isn't correct. Nothing else really matters. I mean, of course it does, but we're on the same page there. So
as long as you can see my hair and I can see you and your hair, it is okay. Actually, that this is what they want at the first, as a first rule. But after that, of course, the details comes, and with that detail, uh, you have to make a healthy donor area management. You have to extract enough, not over harvest, but you have to get the enough follicles from the donor area to cover the bald area. And when we combine a hair transplant at the beginning, if we know that the client will have an SMP after the hair transplant, actually we get more comfortable about using the follicles at the right places, because the donor hair capacity doesn't increase. We just use it in the right way. We can do that, but we cannot create any hair strength to use at the hair transplant. But if we know that they will get SMP, we can use more grafts for the front hairline, to give a denser look in the front, because we can give more density to the other parts after hair transplant, even we don't put many grafts on the back. It makes us act more freedom. It gives us more freedom while choosing which area to use the limited capacity of the donor hair.
I see. That you mentioned, so you actually covered quite a bit there, and I sort of bookmarked a question that I had in mind. You mentioned over harvesting.
Yeah.
And I've had a few clients where honestly, over harvesting, this repairing or concealing the donor area is pretty simple for us as SMP artists, with the exception of the FUT scar. And so I'm kind of jumping around just a little bit. But while I'm on the topic, since I brought it up, a client, just so that everyone understands, a client who's had a hair transplant procedure, and they want to get the scar concealed. There are three types of scars that they may have. Could you sort of speak to that just a little bit and tie that into what you all actually offer?
Yes, of course. The FUT, which in Turkey we don't use it for last 15 years, because it's an old version of hair transplant. We used to do that before FUE, because we cut off a line of the scalp on the back to get the donor hair, and we just stitch. It is a big, more invasive procedure first, and the second, it leaves bigger scar on the scalp. And as you told, and also since you stretch the scalp, you also if the scalp is not soft enough, or if the skin, the scalp don't have the enough skin, the front hairline goes back when we stretch from here.
Oh, I see.
Because because FUT scar mostly is not enough with one session, so you need to make more than one session to cover the area. So you can get more than one scar on the donor area. But in summary, we don't do that because it's an old-fashioned way of doing hair transplant. And FUE, follicular unit extraction, we extract from the donor area one by one the hair follicles, and then we put them, hair transplant them on the bald area one by one. So you see, when the hair transplant patients come to you after the hair transplant, you see bald spots on the back. And so it is easier to blend with the rest of the scalp, to give color and to fill the blanks with SMP. And it really works very good, SMP, for the FUE spots.
Absolutely, and I've seen it. And we do our best with the outdated method that you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, FUT.
Mm-hmm.
But even
Mm-hmm.
the best of the best artists simply can't get rid of them fully. They look much better, but to your point, FUE is a bit more. It doesn't. The scarring isn't nearly as severe. And also, you touched on something that I was unaware of, and I actually had a question. And my clients do as well. For those of you who just joined or will be joining, the question on the floor is: can SMP and hair transplant procedures be combined? So we're addressing the questions and intricacies surrounding these two breakthrough hair replacement procedures. Can SMP and hair transplants be combined? Um, so yes, some of my clients often wonder whether or not they'd have to make multiple trips to Turkey, and I
No.
was unable to
So,
answer that. I didn't have an answer for that. So could you speak to that a little bit?
yeah, of course. The hair transplant, standard hair transplant is a 3-day procedure. Okay. The first day in the morning, we take the client from the hotel in the morning to our clinic, the hospital. It's a full-fledged hospital. And first, they have their breakfast. And before that, we get the blood and we do the all blood test. That's because it is not a full general anesthesia. We do local anesthesia, but we are very serious about what we are doing. We take it very serious, and we take their health first. So we do every medical procedure in the international standards. And then we start the hair transplant, and the hair transplant is itself is about 6 to 8 hours. And during that hair transplant procedure, they are awake, don't feel anything, but they are awake. And also they can have coffee breaks. They eat their lunch in the afternoon. And at the end of the day, it is finished. All we have done, all of our job. Hair transplant is a 6 to 8 hours procedure. The second day, they rest at the hotel, and third day, we take them from the hotel to the hospital, and we do the first washing, first hair washing, because since until the first 10 days is very important for the results of the hair transplant, because the hair follicles are placed on their new places. They are very fragile. You don't touch it, but to heal faster, first 10 days they have to wash every day, but a special kind of wash. You don't rinse it, you just uh, put the shampoo, the special shampoo, and you don't put the water directly on the scalp. We show them how to do it, and we do the first washing at the hospital. And at the end of that third day, they can go back to home. And the first 10 days, since it is a critical period, we are in contact with them every day, even they don't ask for it, even they don't want it, because it is our job and I want to follow it. So our team follow up the first 10 days every day until the hair follicles settle their new place. And then we follow up for the first year each month. Each month, we contact the client, ask for the pictures, and ask if they have any problem, if they have any question. Of course, they can call us in between, but we do the contacts the first 10 days every day, and the first year every month. If this is the we have a scale, Norwood scale, from 1 to 7. If someone doesn't know about it, 7 is the severest hair loss, which is actually only clients that group is only client for SMP, because they don't even have the donor hair on the scalp. So until 7, they have the if they have hair transplant, but if the bald area is big, we can advise, and if they have enough donor hair, because very classical male pattern hair loss, they have very rich donor area, but very big bald area. So if they have enough donor hair on the scalp, we advise the client 2 sessions, at least with 1 year intervals.
I see.
So
it's major work in a Norwood 7, where there's a very severe, very large recipient area or severe balding. At least 2 sessions,
yes,
but not
but
within the same year.
Yes, and not the same year. At least 1 year healing process needed, because it's an invasive procedure, and the deep scalp tissue has to be healed completely. And also, if they have that capacity, we do, for each client, we do free video consultations. And if they need more than 1 session, they already know before they come for the first session. We give all the consultation and the details. Of course, a little bit small changes may be with the physical consultation, but as long as the client gives all the details to us, and with the video consultation, we do a very detailed consultation, and we give or suggestions about the procedure.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
If I or a client in this case wanted to reach out to your team for a consultation, what would be the quickest way for them to get in touch with you? If I'm in a consultation and it turns out they aren't the greatest candidate for an SMP procedure, but it sounds like hair transplant may be the best way to go.
Yeah.
What's the quickest way to set up a consultation?
Quickest way, if the client has time, we prefer online video consultation. But if not, they don't have that time to. Just clear pictures from front, from sides, from top, and from back. We need to see if they have enough donor hair, and we need to see the bald area, how big, and at which areas we can do the hair transplant. And they just give our phone number, and after that we will handle all the process.
Okay, understood. So phone number. What about your website? Is there any part of your website that they could submit photos or that way, or phone call
Yeah,
the best way?
yeah, yes, of course. Our website is
She will
shewolfmedical.com.
medical
Yes,
doc there.
and all of our social media they can contact from there. They can send email to us, and they can message us. They can reach out to our contacts through our website or social media, uh, uh, except the time zone difference, of course. We are very we are responding very quickly.
I see. And could you remind us again of the time difference? What time is it?
It is 9:30 p.m.
9:30
here.
p.m.
It's 11 hours,
So there's
I
an
believe.
8 hour
Because
difference.
since within US there are lots of different time zones I cannot memorize, but mostly 8 to 11 hours from east to west.
Yeah,
8 to 11 hours time difference.
great. We're at the 8 hour. We're further east, so we're about as close to US
One to
in the US as we can possibly get, maybe aside from New Yorkers. But so yeah, so far you covered a lot. Again, those of you who are just joining us, we have Sarah from She Wolf Medical, all the way in Istanbul, Turkey. Again, we're discussing the possibilities for SMP and hair transplants. Yes, they are compatible. They are compatible and even complementary. In a lot of cases, clients should get both depending on what their hair loss treatments entail. And so we find that out by listening to the client and direct your request accordingly. So thanks again. Question that I had for you on behalf of some of my potential
okay.
clients who are also considering both procedures, the downtime. Let's say a client has had a hair transplant. How long do they need to wait before considering getting SMP if they're getting both? What's the recovery?
Uh, Actually, it is it's almost the same. We advise 1 year, but from 10 months, the recovery process, deep tissue recovery, is already completed. So because before that, even they see that on the scalp it already recovered. Inside, the SMP process is a painful process. They feel more because it is more fragile at that moment. If they do it for someone, I know that from the SMP studios, the hair transplant clients go to SMP studios at the 5th or 6th month, because the hair transplant starts, the hair starts to grow after the 5 and 6 months, and they think that it is already done and it is ready, but in the deep tissue it is still fragile. And if they do the SMP early, it also affects and hurts the baby, the newly transplanted hair follicles, hair roots. So we advise starting from 10 months, they can get SMP very easily. And also the recovery healing process of the scalp tissue already ended. The color success of SMP is more successful after 10 months. Before that, since the scalp is still trying to heal itself, the SMP color may not be the same effect, because
That makes sense. That makes
the scalp tries to heal itself. So it tries to heal everything in it, including the SMP
sense.
ink.
I understand. So patience is key. Patience is key with the process. With if you're going to do both. Well,
Yeah.
well, what about if we reverse the process? SMP and then the hair transplant. I would imagine that the downtime wouldn't be as long, or would you even recommend reversing the order? Would it hurt you, or would it potentially hurt the results from the hair transplant if they got the SMP first?
Um, Actually, it is not wrong. I can do that, but the result is not the same. Why? Because I can do hair transplant to a client that already have SMP on the scalp. That's okay for me. But you work with dots very carefully. You put a lot of work on it, but I have to cut down something on the bald area, and I just you do an excellent work as SMP, and then I just ruin it while I am doing hair transplant, some of it at least.
I see.
Because I have to cut it and it will heal, it will crust, and the color will change. And since I deal with the scalp, the result, SMP result, they will lose some effect of the SMP. So we advise, if they already did, there is nothing wrong about having a hair transplant. But if we are planning, we call it a 1 year transformation process. Okay, it's a 1 year transformation package. Hair transplant and SMP. As you told, it needs patience. And if they do it first SMP and then hair transplant, actually they play with your work.
I see.
And also, if we do it after the hair transplant, because we are a successful clinic, to be sure. And I'm sorry about it, but 95 or success rate is around 95%, but 5% is a still percentage. And we after hair transplant, we can clearly see where we need more density, where we are successful, and also some of the areas of the scalp needs more density, because as I told, if we do first hair transplant and if we know that they will get SMP later, I will give more density to the front line. It will be easier for me
To do more. What's the term that I'm looking for? It would actually, so you said it would be simple. It would be simpler for your technicians if they know they will work differently if they know that the client is going to have SMP after they get the transplant.
surely.
Okay.
Sure, because I cannot use all donor hair at one place or a small place. We plan first, and with our technicians and with our team, after the video consultation, we make a plan where to put how many grafts. But during the procedure, before the procedure, in the morning when they come to the hospital, we share our plan with the client, and we agree on the final distribution.
I see.
If we know that it's a transformation package, I mean SMP plus hair transplant, maybe our advice will change about the distribution to the client. Because
So that is key information. You all need to know whether or not they intend to follow up with SMP.
yeah, if we don't know from the beginning, we just do our standard job, standard planning. So we do our best to cover and to give the best front look to the client, and the thinking, considering his donor hair capacity. But if we know that he will get SMP, that may change our planning and his expectations. Actually, you know, also the hair transplant, they may repeat, they may need to repeat SMP later too, because hair transplants, maybe some of the clients may already know this detail, but the why we use the hair from the donor area, from the back, because the male pattern hair loss is about the testosterone hormone levels, and this area back is testosterone free area. It is not affected by the testosterone, and because of that reason, the lost hair is there, because they are strong and they are not affected if it is a male pattern hair loss. When we extract that hair from there and put on the bald area, their characteristic doesn't change. They even we put the scalp, the part of the scalp that produces testosterone, it is the hair follicles from the donor area are not still affected. So after hair transplant, you don't lose the transplanted hair.
I see. Yeah, and that ties into a question that I had about the success rate, if and whether or not it will. 95% is pretty
Yeah.
good, and when we're defining success, I'm assuming by the number or percentage of grafts that the recipient area retains, that or the harvested hairs, how much of it actually eventually grows. Is that the basic indicator of success?
Certainly.
Okay.
For us, actually, it is not the only indicator. Of course, the hair, if you don't put the hair follicles too deep or too shallow, if you put too deep, it will grow inside, and it's a problem. If you do too shallow, they will fall, and they will not leave there, the new place. The success is related, the success rate, hair growth rate, is about putting them the right follicles and the right depth. This is the first step for the successful hair transplant, but it is not all, because they will use the transplanted hair. It's a three-dimensional hair. If you don't put the grafts on the right angles, in harmony with their original hair direction, it will be something ugly. And since they will use it for the rest of their life, it will be a real problem for the patient because they want to, since they already have a real hair, they want to shape it, they want to have a cut, they want to use it freely. And if the direction is not in harmony with the original hair, or in harmony with the other transplanted hair, the direction is very important. Also, a successful hair transplant is a natural looking, as if it didn't. Actually, I have a video I just get the easiest hair transplant clients with the pictures of my husband. I send the pictures. Just I share them in private only with serious potential clients, because I did his hair transplant, and most of the people can't understand if he had hair transplant. I will share it with you too.
Yeah, that'd be it. I'd like to see it. That would be quite interesting. Um, I I did want to know, since you're on the topic of, and it's actually interesting, the similarities with S&P as far as depth and needle angle, and that both of those are very important for S&P as well. So I thought that was a bit interesting. You can go too deep, you'll have a blowout. If you don't go deep enough, the impressions will spread, and that's where clients get the unrealistic look, where there's like a sheet of ink on their head because the depth and the angles are off. So definitely some similarities there. I did want to ask, um, donor areas. Where is the scalp, the rear of the scalp, the only place that donor hairs can be harvested? What about other body parts? Can they be harvested from the beard? I actually had a question, a client to ask me this. Can they get the hair from the beard, from the chest, arm, arm,
uh,
hairy legs? If they're really, desperate about, you understand the question.
yes, I understand. And actually, yes, we can. We do it. We do we do transplants to beard also, and eyebrows, the needed areas, because everybody is fragile about some part of their body, and there's nothing wrong. They don't have to, but there's nothing wrong to want to have that hair in that specific place. Okay, so and we can get donor hair from a beard, this area, and from chest. Yes,
Okay.
if they don't have enough hair on the donor area, and if they want that for the transplant, to get the to cover the area. We can of course the capacity of those areas are very limited compared to the original donor area, but we can maximize the hair potential by 1,500 grafts. We can get more.
I see. So and then of course, the question that I just asked about other areas of the body that can be harvested. Why not segue into pricing? Obviously, that's going to come up, and naturally, every client eventually wants to know, how much does a hair transplant cost? I'm pretty sure there's not one set price. I'd have to
Uh,
believe that it depends on how much work needs to be done.
no,
Could we
no.
could we talk
I
about that a
as
little bit, or?
I as I told, uh, because as being an ex-professional of finance, I want everything easy. And because when you make something more complicated, uh, the comfort is going away. So we have a full package, including hotel and local transfers in Istanbul. They just buy, and also hair transplant related charges. They are all included in our package, and they just buy their flight tickets to Turkey, and we pick them from the airport. And then after but most of the clients make a holiday vacation plan, mostly before the hair transplant. And as it finishes, they just fly back to home. But our package is maximum grafts, maximum possible grafts, and all included package. And I don't know, it's a fixed price for this year, and it is 3,500 for this year.
I see. I see.
That
So that's
that
3,500 US dollars, and it's all inclusive, the procedure, the hotel accommodations, the only thing, with the exception of the plane ticket, which is understandable. And for the quality of work that I'm seeing from clients, yeah, I would say that it's more than worth it. Also, relative to the price quality ratio that you would find in most clinics in the U.S. Any client that has had the procedure, the hair transplant procedure here in the U.S., or even done some research on the pricing, knows that 3,500 is an absolute deal, especially given the quality of the results and so forth. So we're getting pretty close to wrapping things up here. For those of you all who may have just joined or may still be here, SMP and hair transplants, can they work together? The answer is yes. They complement each other very well. And you can actually, in my own portfolio, and gosh, I don't have them designated as such. I need to maybe designate my portfolio for clients who've had both procedures, because they are definitely there in my portfolio. And speaking of portfolio, where could one go to see your work, or to see the work from your technicians?
We have a good social media work, so we always share some of our works on social media. The account is Instagram and Facebook. We have also a YouTube account, and we have our website. But the most updated works of our job is on the social media. It is She-Wolf Medical. She-Wolf Medical. They can contact. They can reach us, and also they can reach us through you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have direct contact with Sarah and the She-Wolf Medical team. And if, for those of you, again, the website is shewolfmedical.com. Maybe I can put that in the chat. Once you visit there, I think one of the first things a visitor will notice is that you all aren't limited to hair transplants. Could you kind of just touch on briefly some of the other services that you offer?
Yes, actually, we are doing all plastic surgeries and all the dental treatments, and for women and men, all plastic surgeries. But you know, we just trying to reach out to potential clients through hair transplant, because since Turkey is very well known already very well known in US for hair transplant, we concentrate our communication over hair transplant, but we have really very successful surgeons and dentist team, because most of people, when they fly that way, actually I fly almost every month to US, and I like flying, and it is not a long way for me, because in the evening I get on the plane, and in the morning, not in Istanbul, but in some states, I just wake up. That's very okay for me. I love traveling, but since most of the people see it as a long way, they want to solve the non-insurance issues in Turkey when they come to Turkey for hair transplant. So mostly although we promote the other services, most of our clients have come with their packages for dental treatments, and we also do checkups, very detailed checkup programs, and also the plastic surgeries and kind of nose jobs, boob jobs, and BBLs, anything.
I see. Um,
we, we give that service because to be honest, I travel a lot in Europe and in US world, and I believe that I'm an objective observer, and I can see that we have a really far better medical service and quality. And personally, me and my clinic, uh, we don't see this as a business or a job. It's a kind of service. Of course, we make money over it, but we don't need to make it in any case. I don't take any client to any hospital that I personally don't go, or I don't take my daughter to, my family. I only use my surgeons only from the top three hospitals in Turkey, and also from the top three medical schools in Turkey. And I only choose the best surgeons for specific areas. As I told at the beginning, even in hair transplant, we have specialized team for different kinds of hair ties. And also, the nose job is done by another surgeon, and BBL is for another surgeon, because you get excellent as you make practice, and the success of Turkey comes from that number of practices. We have very talented surgeons, and genetically Turkish people are talented on this handmade issues. We are good at making something by hand, but
Interesting.
also it is about the practice. It is about the a number of cases, because you see very different cases from very different countries, so the team gets excellent, and I only choose work with the best, because we don't need to do every clients coming to Turkey. I just want to give the best service, and as I told at the beginning, I personally take it very serious, because it is human health.
Yeah.
And people want, they save money, they use their money, they prefer to use their money to feel better. At the end of the procedures we do, if we cannot make them feel better, it's nothing, it's nonsense. I don't need to do that, and they don't need to come that long way to get it done. So our main concern is if they decide to get something, some procedure that is not a health issue, if they want, they get it done, they pay for it to feel better. I am here to give them the best service with the best option in Turkey. That's all.
Excellent. And I share your sentiment as well. I just, if I can't perform a job with excellence, then I just much rather turn the job down for whatever reason. Even if it's something as simple as I'm too tired, or I'm just not one to jump all over the place and offer 10 different services and be mediocre. I tend to like to specialize in maybe one of or a few things at a time. So that resonates with me. I guess my final question would be, and I didn't have this written down. Do you all accept insurance, any form of medical insurances as a form of payment?
Uh, actually, we don't, because these procedures are not included in the insurance policies
I
of
see.
people. Yeah, that most of them. But we also, with very specific issues, we also do some medical treatment surgeries. And for that, if their insurance accept it, of course we can. But people don't come that way. If they have enough insurance, they get it done at the home.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that kind of patients are mostly from the eastern neighbors of Turkey,
I see.
eastern parts of the world. They, because since even they have money, if they cannot reach that treatment at their country, they come to Turkey, and we do the medical treatments, very serious cancer treatments, or organ transplants. We do at the hospital all these services, but we, as you know, we don't promote it. This part, this plastic surgery, hair transplant, and dental treatments, we promote it, because the Western countries are the potential clients of these services, not the insurance covered treatments. But we are here if they don't want to wait, because even though you have the insurance, you may have to wait for the treatment. If they don't want to wait for the treatment, they can come to Turkey, and we can take them to the best surgeons of that kind of issue.
Excellent. Excellent. Um, well, it's been great, Sarah, for us to finally reconnect. I believe the last time we spoke was the latter part of 2023. I can't remember when
Yeah,
it was
I,
exactly, but
I keep all messages, so I see, I can follow the timeline. But yeah, you know, the easiest even easiest relationships takes at least 6 months, so it is okay from this point. I believe we will be more frequently in contact, and I am here just for anything as a friend.
absolutely, that does mean a lot. Much continued to success to you in 2024. Again, we have Sarah here with She Wolf Medical, located in Istanbul, Turkey. Very easy to contact. I tend to go to her website, if not WhatsApp. Again, it's very simple to establish a consultation. That's where I start to see if you're a viable candidate for her services. And then if you're interested in SMP or scalp micropigmentation, you know how to find me. Those of you who may be tuned in, the Newman SMP is my Instagram, and also I'm available at newmansmp.com. My phone number and all contact information is there. I'm not hard to find. And also, some of you who are indeed candidates for both services, that is, you really do want your actual hair back. I can't fix that. SMP is a tattoo, but Sarah and her team can. So you may want to consider that. And if in the course of our consultation, I truly believe that hair transplant is the right course of action for you, I will let you know that and send you to the best team possible over at She Wolf Medical. Anything else that we have not covered before we part ways on this live?
Actually, please don't forget to record the save, to save the
Oh,
live.
yes. Yes. Yes.
Because sometimes I just push leave, and so
Oh, yeah,
thank
that's
you
my
very
question. How do I save the live?
much.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll sit
I,
here on this live until even if I have to sit here and Google it after you're long gone, but I'm not going to hit that X without saving the live. I'll figure it out, Sarah.
I will check if I have. No, no, no. You can do it, Damien, and it's on in your hands.
Okay, I
I,
won't
I
let you down.
I I I think when you push the stop button, it will give an option to save
Yeah,
it.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I I, I believe so, but if not, we can redo it. We can do it again.
Absolutely. If I don't save it this time, it's totally your fault. I'm going to blame you if I don't save this thing.
Okay.
It's been a
No,
pleasure. It's been a pleasure, Sarah, once
my
again. And I
pleasure
look
too.
forward to speaking with you soon. And if you have questions for myself, and I know how to find you, you aren't hard to find. I'll send as many people who are interested in hair transplants your way.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay. I really appreciate your time and your friendship. It is very it is really a pleasure to share all these things, all uh, because as I told at the beginning, I really believe in this collaboration, SMP and hair transplant. And thanks for the opportunity to share my feelings about this collaboration. And I'm very happy to have you with this live IG live. Let's repeat it sometimes.
Indeed, we shall, Sarah. Indeed, we shall. I know it's getting late. Enjoy the remainder of your night, and we will connect soon.
Oh,
Much success to you. Take
thank
care.
you. You too, Damien.
Bye bye.
Have a nice. Bye bye.